This is Pass the Rock.
And welcome back, y'all. It's time now for everybody's favorite off-season segment. It's the return of your favorite hypothetical middle-aged men beat-down extravaganza. It is time for Head Coach Fight Club. Just pretend that there was some music there and, whatever. Listen, this year it's going to be great. As we all know, and for those who might need a refresher, or you're just joining the program for the first time and you weren't here for last year's, our reigning defending champion Arthur Smith unfortunately cannot be here to return to defend his crown, as he was fired.
Never lost.
He never lost.
The loser.
But he sure did lose his job. So, unfortunately, both our champion and our runner-up are no longer in the Fight Club pool. So, you should look forward, everybody, to the new coaches in the pool. It might change things up. And for our returning fighters, this is a chance at redemption. All right? Things change. People change. Body types change. They could be in shape for the fight. They could be in worse shape for the fight. Who knows? But there is one thing that everybody needs to know. Last year, we just kind of flew off the cuff. Every fight was just a hypothetical. All right? Some of us took it quite literal. Some of us went way out there. Never forget.
Some of us weaved every single nook and cranny of the rules possible.
And sometimes there were no rules. All right. Let's never forget the NFC West version and Patrick trying to make sense of Pete Carroll winning that division. Don't worry.
I can tell what's going to happen again, but
well, he can't win that division again, for he is not in the division.
I guess I forgot about that. Is Carroll not coaching the Seahawks this year? Who's coaching the Seahawks this year?
Isn't? I thought he was.
No, there's a new coach. There's a new coach.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's a new coach. Yeah. Because he's the new coach that was almost a new coach for somebody else, but then he was like, I'm going to be the new coach for Seattle.
Yes.
Yeah, Washington.
Mike McDonald.
Yeah. That's why Dan Quinn's in Washington. Yeah.
That's right. So, y'all, let's get into it. A quick reminder of some of the rules, the few rules that there are in Head Coach Fight Club, and that is the PTR. And no, that doesn't stand for Pass the Rock, but it's close enough. It's the Primetime Rewind. So, 3 hosts have 2 rewinds to use throughout the entirety of this tournament. For those of you who may not know what the Primetime Rewind means, it just means that at any given point, we can turn back the hands of time for our selected warrior so that they may fight in the prime of their life. All right? But we can only use that 2 times throughout the entirety of this entire tournament.
We're getting 2 this year?
We're getting 2. Last year was 1. This year it's 2. Because we got to introduce some chaos. And because there are now new fight types.
I think 2 works.
That's right. 2 Primetime Rewinds and new fight types. We are introducing the Wheel of Battle. And in the Wheel of Battle, there are various different categories for types of fights. So we are now introducing boxing matches, pro wrestling matches, bar fight brawls, anime-style battles, a good old-fashioned fight at midfield, and my new favorite that I hope that we get sooner rather than later. It's a medieval joust. And we'll explain what a medieval joust is whenever that happens. But for now, we are doing NFC East. All right? Only 2 advance from this. 1 goes into the winner's bracket. 1 goes into the loser's bracket. And then those who end in 3rd and 4th, sorry about it. You should polish up on getting your dukes up, boys. All right. Without further ado, let's look at the seedings. In the first seed, it is the Dallas Cowboys and Mike McCarthy. There he is. Fat Mike is ready. It's his revenge season, as Becky said in our group chat. Oh, my God. in the second seed, it's unfortunately the guy in the top right corner. That's right. It's good old Nick Sirianni of the Philadelphia Eagles. Thank you. Now, in the 3 seed, representing the New York Giants, he's Butterbean himself, Brian Dabble. What the fuck is that image on the right?
They took his beard and put it on his head. Honestly,
that's incredible.
Honestly, you could have gone with some worse ones. So,
oh God! For our listening audience only, please look at this on YouTube. There's no way to describe this other than like imagine if his bald head was his chin and then his bearded chin was his head. It's a lot. And in the 4 seed, brand new to Head Coach Fight Club, the new head coach and the former defensive coordinator of Dallas Cowboys. It's Dan Quinn, baby. Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. There was bad options, so then the 2010 meme format just had me dying. I just had to.
Oh, all right. Now let's go ahead. We will go with the 1 seed versus the 4 seed. That's right. Fat Mike gets to go up against his defensive coordinator early on in the tournament, and then 2 seed Nick Sirianni and Brian Dabble. Gentlemen, I know I'm the host of this, but I want to give power to my host. Which fight do we want to see first between these 2 matchups?
I kind of need the anime fight, if I'm being honest.
No. Which of the 2 matchups
do you want to see first?
No, see, we got the wheel to decide what type of fight. He's asking us which 2 we'd like to see fight first.
The problem is I'm aware. I'm just still stating demands. So look, I don't care.
Listen. I understand. We will see what the wheel says.
The rest of this, I don't care. Whatever one, I think they're both.
Let's start 2-3 and give.
All right, Nick Sirianni and Brian Dabble. Gentlemen, this is a fight of different body types. That's for sure. You have the round, rotund Brian Dabble, a little short, right? Very thick.
What a ball.
And then you have the definition of just lanky, kind of long, skinny dude, skinny Italian from South Jersey, Nick Sirianni. It's the age-old debate. Which wins? Length versus girth? Let's find out what type of fight this is. The wheel's spinning. And the spin tells me that this is a good old-fashioned pro wrestling bout.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, I can work with that.
Thank God.
This
I've paid
guy-
attention to this for a while. So
That's fine. Easily
right.
can do that. Cool.
So, gentlemen, I will lead things off with how I think this fight goes. All right? Both combatants make their entrances to the ring. The ring announcer announces the combatants. This is a fight scheduled for 1 fall, right? First person, get their shoulders pinned. 1, 2, 3. They lose. Whoever wins, right? And in this case, I think both gentlemen lock up. But it's clear, despite the fact that Nick Sirianni has the length, he cannot move the round, rotund Brian Dabble. Brian Dabble scoops him up, slams him onto the ground, hits the ropes, goes for a dive. Nick Sirianni evades the dive. All right, kicks up, and he's tuning up the band like he's Shawn Michaels. All right, Brian Dabble, he's not in shape for this fight. He is gassed already. But you know what Nick Sirianni does? He gets emotional. He looks at him. Those tears start flowing because he doesn't want to do this to his fellow head coach. He goes for that super kick. Guess what? Even though he lands, Brian Dabble don't move. You need more than just a skinny leg to the chin to finish old Brian Dabble off. What does Brian Dabble do? Buddy, he picks him up, and this is like celebrity deathmatch, Undertaker Tombstone, right? Tombstones this man straight into the mat, breaks his neck. 1, 2, 3. Brian Dabble beats my team's head coach, Nick Sirianni. I'm sorry, Nick. I just don't think you have the dog in you to win in this type of fight.
I feel like that was very Like that was therapeutic a little bit for you. So I just want to take a moment to let
A
you
little
have
bit.
enjoyed that.
Little bit. You know, this
Patrick-
is what
Oh,
this is what's known wrestling as a squash match because he had no chance.
That's fair. That is fair. Patrick, do you want to have a sane and rational take for this wrestling? This
For pro
theoretical-
wrestling fight.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and give my little tier, my version of this. So the way I'm seeing this is you get Dabble, you get Sirianni, they have their intros, they're in the ring, they're ready to fight. Honestly, they probably don't even get intros. It's probably like a cutback from commercial break and both guys are already in the ring and the announcer's like, and here we are for the for the lower tier NFC East fight. They trade a couple chops. Dabble's pretty good at stomping the mat, making that loud noise. But Sirianni, he's working the ropes. He's jumping off the top a few times, but Dabble's always knees up, ready for him. But eventually, Kelsey and what's his name come out.
Lane Johnson.
Kelsey and Lane Johnson come out, and they're holding Dabble down. And oh no, here comes Sirianni for the pin. But all of a sudden, what's that? Oh my God, it's Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn running out to defend his Canadian brother, Brian Dabble.
He's Canadian?
Yeah,
Nice.
he's Canadian American.
What a fool.
Sami Zayn comes in, double clothesline, takes out Lane Johnson, takes out Jason Kelsey, then picks up Nick Sirianni, throws him to the ground, and then he sits on top of him while Brian Dabble crawls over and gives him a quick 1, 2, 3. Brian Dabble wins this fight. On my end, let's see if Bethy's got something different to say.
Well,
This is the tiebreaker.
Technically, we are. Oh wait, you picked Sirianni to lose. Wait,
Yeah, Dabble
You-
pinned
He
Sirianni.
picked Sirianni to win. I picked Sirianni to lose. You are the tiebreaker.
Okay.
I
you
picked Dabble
said-
to win.
Yeah,
Wait,
there's
you picked
two
Dabble?
Dabbles. It's already over.
Never mind.
I just want to see
So
what your
good.
thoughts were.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
But I agree. Okay, I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page. So look, I'm not
Confusion
actually,
in fight one.
so I am not currently confused anymore. However, I did disagree with you, gentlemen. I got there a different way though. So I look at a lot of the NFC East as a lame duck coaching kind of season. There's a lot of lame duck coaching candidates, right? None finer than the two gentlemen we have here in this fight. Potentially could be looking at themselves in the unemployment line very soon. So, it's wrestling. We got to have our whole production. We got to have something going on here. This has got to be important. This is about status. So Nick Sirianni says, I'm going to start by intimidation. He fucking slams a jar of pickles because that's motivation or something, and then slams the jar of pickles on his head, and now in a bleeding, heaving
On his
mess,
own head.
on his own head. And now he's right. Now he's got the crowd rolling on his side. Brian Dayball is not amused. My friend, he came out loaded with 100 tacos from Taco Bell. Instantly devours. Turns them around. All we hear is grumbling in the arena. Lights go down. You hear grumbling. Lights come up. He's turned around. He's got just fucking gas missiles coming at him.
God.
Nick Sirianni's down. He's down bad. He's beaten up bad. But don't worry, because out of nowhere, as Brian Dayball is gloating, as he's yelling that he is the new Jason Garrett crown winner of the NFC East. If there's someone that's going to be mid and be mid for a while, it's going to be him. Not so fast, my friend. Out of the tunnel comes running a Saquon Barkley looking for revenge. He runs straight for the gut of Brian Dayball as that's coach. Causes a cataclysmic explosion in the arena. Out of the fire, all we see is a limpy, crappy looking Nick Sirianni mumbling, I will be the new Jason Garrett on the block.
All right, so it sounds to me that Brian Dabble could not get back to his feet for the 10 count. Nick Sirianni, you are the last man standing in that scenario. Unfortunately, You do not win in the eyes of the majority. So Brian Dabble advances to face the winner of the 1 and the 4 seed. So, gentlemen,
I was
let's just go.
expecting Saquon to sprint out there and hurt himself before he got to Dabble, but
it was between the two options. I was staring at a fork in the road, and I went with the other one.
Oh man, listen. That would have been an even better bit, I think, if his quads just blew right there. All right, let's go on to the 1 seed and the 4 seed. You have Mike McCarthy against his former defense coordinator Dan Quinn. What kind of fight do we have on our hands for this one? The wheel says, here we go.
Big money, big money, big money. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Big money, big money, big money, big money, big money, big money.
I don't know if you can tell.
Oh, fuck me. This doesn't work for the plan at all.
the joust.
But I will do this as a one-time and one-time exception.
All right.
We are going with an anime fight anyways.
I'm going to stop writing these down in the future, and then we'll play by the rules forever. And this is just solely improv moving forward.
All right.
All right.
This will be the one and only exception to the rule of the wheel. The wheel must be obeyed.
Well, I think the problem you have is the weight
otherwise
limit.
your team is
I mean,
yeah, we couldn't do that for horses.
it was what happens if McCarthy's horse literally can't move forward?
Bro, what if we do that again for Dayball versus what if McCarthy versus Dayball? Come on, brother. We can't do that to two horses like that.
Gotta be like a forklift joust.
Listen, I don't think you guys understand how strong these horses are, okay?
No,
Those horses never had anybody the size of McCarthy on them, I'll tell you that.
We were planning on it, but unfortunately, PETA did make the call. They have already contacted the front offices, the legal team at Pass the Rock, and they've let us know.
So, this is, however, we
unfortunately
have
for us, the legal team is made up of non-lawyers and couldn't fight back.
That's right. Unlike these men on the field,
there's a lawyer AI now, so we're good.
Sounds good. All right. Anyway, I'll lead things off in this very special fight, solely made or tailor-made for Bethke's. But let's just go ahead. All right. This is what I'm thinking, gentlemen. In this anime style clash that we have, this takes place at the World Martial Arts Tournament, a la the Dragon Ball world. For those who remember OG Dragon Ball when they were kids. All right. I think Fat Mike, he's been trained by Master Roshi in the ways of the Turtle Hermit School. That means he knows the Kamehameha wave. All right. And then Dan Quinn, bald ass, he's Krillin. He's basically Krillin. And he too was trained in the same school. But guess what? One guy's just superior than the other. Here's how the fight starts. Both guys, absolutely lightning speed. Nobody can keep up with the strikes that they are dishing back and forth. And you would think Fat Mike does not have the stamina for it, but he's been trained by Master Roshi himself. He's able to keep up with Dan Quinn's strikes. Dan Quinn, though, sneaky, uses that bald head of his to blind Fat Mike and get some cheap shots in. And he goes to load up for a Kamehameha wave. But as he goes for it, so does Fat Mike. He may be blind, but he senses the energy in the arena, and he knows where that blast is coming from. And now you have a classic Dragon Ball beam battle. Both going back and forth. But it looks like Dan Quinn has the edge. It looks like he's going to force Fat Mike out of the ring as the force of his beam is pushing Fat Mike closer and closer to the edge. But just like 28-3, he can't get the job done. Fat Mike digs deep into the reserves, screams at the top of his lungs, and unleashes an even bigger Kamehameha wave, knocking Dan Quinn out of the ring. And he is our winner in my scenario. Bethke, I know that you're itching to get this one out, so go ahead. The floor is yours.
All right. So you did take the one anime I've ever seen in my life. I have seen the, what's that one?
Dragon Ball?
No, not Dragon Ball.
Z.
No, not Z.
Pokemon.
No, Death Note. So Death Note I've seen, but that was also like 10 years ago. And so I don't think there's as many fighting scenarios as I can pull out.
That'd be hilarious if you found a way.
So good thing is I did write this semi-based off of some anime that we used to watch on music television back in the day. But I just borrowed little inspirations here and there and created some other thing, you know. But this is my version of anime. It's more of like claymation than anime. But either way, to get to know our fighters is important. So, of course, Mike McCarthy declares himself the king of the NFC East, who has done the least with more than Mike McCarthy. I mean, that is what his job is. He has taken the Jason Garrett tenure up at least 3 to 4 wins a season. It's incredible. So truly the mediocrity starts and ends with him right now. That's the way he's walking into this fight. Now, Dan Quinn comes from obviously the same building, at least as of last year, right? So we know that there's some Game of Thrones stuff going on here a little bit. So we have to play into that. Here's how it goes down play by play. So look, we're not just going to fair fight here. Mike McCarthy, look, it's the Dallas Cowboys. Mike has got a podcast. CD's doing some other stuff. Dak's busy this offseason. Not enough people to have reinforcements. So, Mike, you're going to have to fight this one alone. But Dan Quinn, he's got Dorrance Armstrong. He's got Tyler Biadasz. He's coming with Joe Witt. He's coming with a whole legion of ex-Cowboys to come at the throne for the NFC East. So as this fight begins, as the posturing does, before any fisticuffs have been settled, Dorrance Armstrong and Tyler Biadasz cheap shot Mike McCarthy. They jump at him from nowhere, start beating on him. Don't worry. Remember that surgery he had last year? Iron gut. Yeah, that's right. Breaks their hands, immediately gets the upper hand, starts laughing. While he's busy, while Mike McCarthy's handling this, Dan Quinn is being sneaky and up to shenanigans. He knows Fat Mike's source of power, and it's the 64-ounce Diet Coke that he keeps hidden in the corner. He said, I know in your office that this drink is what fuels you. I will destroy it. He destroys it. After all of this has gone down, McCarthy's been beating around. Look, this is a very boring match at this point. This is more of a cunning strategy. It's like Splinter Cell is what we got going on here. We got two distractions. We have two distractions while Dan Quinn's trying to get away with the playbook because Dan Quinn knows he's not about to be all right. Okay, so they're stealing all the documents out of Frisco. Everything's must go. It's all a distraction. But guess what? Just as Mike McCarthy is down, he's been jumped, he's been out of this thing. The Iron Gut's only gotten him so far. The Washington gang, they're driving off. They think it's all done. But you know what was in there? An old dusty PFF playbook. Michael McCarthy used Michael McCarthy used in his one season not coaching a football team.
In the football barn.
In there in the football barn, he wasn't looking up plays. He was looking up constituency plans against the Jones clan. Only this time he didn't have to use it against the Jones clan. He had to use it against a former rival. In there, C4 explosive. The whole group goes up in flames. Mike McCarthy walks out Iron Gut intact and on to the next opponent.
All right, well, we now know who advances, but we need to know, Patrick, in your scenario,
are you okay?
How did this play out?
It's not relevant, but how it plays out for me.
The people need to know.
No, I'm saying it's not relevant if I'm okay with it. I was thinking of this more of like, have you seen Mashal?
I have seen Mashal, yes. It's Harry Potter with fighting.
It's anime Harry Potter. So basically the way I saw this is McCarthy's kind of just dancing around a many men and
many men? That's okay.
As he's known to do.
With.
And Dan Quinn's just angry and he's sitting there and he's just clenching and clenching and clenching and just Just one punch, ballista knuckle right to Mike McCarthy's gut. But Mike McCarthy's gut bounces it right back. Dan Quinn's arm flies off. And all McCarthy has to do from there is just sit on him, and then that's pretty much it. Yeah,
That's good. You know, well, it's effective. It's quick.
Hey, you need to have survived cancer to beat Mike McCarthy. We established these.
I know
rules.
he lost, and now the cancer boy's gone.
Oh my God, we're not cancer boy.
The path is clear. This is also good that, you know, when I was thinking about scripting these out, wanting to put more effort into it, I was glad to realize that the rules had changed before I got to this, because obviously I couldn't even really projected the next round anyway.
Yeah.
So
that's
now we truly are going off the top rope here and
flying right off the handle, baby.
Can I get an official announcement for who won that fight, though?
That is
Senior
Fat
Mike McCarthy.
Your winner, Fat Mike.
Yeah.
That's him running away from the C4 explosion.
Man.
No.
This
will determine who goes to the winner's bracket, who goes to the loser's bracket. Gentlemen, this is the battle for NFC least supremacy. We have Fat Mike in the 1 seed, and Brian Dabble is your 3 seed. Who wins? We'll find out as soon as I spin the wheel. And this time we have to go by what it says.
Yeah, and we didn't announce the losers winners. The loser bracket.
The winner is boxing.
So this is just Butterbean versus
super
Butterbean.
heavyweight.
This is a super heavyweight
Super duper.
battle. So let us talk about the tail of the tape then. All right. Fat Mike, he is a quite surprisingly tall 6'2". However, he is an older fighter. He is 60 years of age as of right now. He's weighing in well over 250 pounds. Now, his opponent in this super heavyweight clash is Brian Dabble, 48 years of age.
God damn it.
God, I can't.
It's too much.
It's too much. That's a cursed image. But he completely lacks in the length department. This man is built like a cheese wheel.
He's 5'10".
He's 5'8".
I got him at 5'10" according to sportskeeda.com/NFL/Brian Dabble height.
Why is Diddy still here?
Anytime you guys-
Because he
anytime
won't
you
go
guys say-
away. He's been here my entire life and he just won't go away. Done nothing good, but he won't go away.
All right,
Anytime
well-
you guys say something sus, this is just
Well, okay. Sportskeeda has him at 5'10", but we will call him 5'10". He is still significantly shorter.
I don't care what Sports Skeeter has to say.
Now, gentlemen, this is going to be like
real
your
quick. When
classic.
I search Brian Dabble dimensions, the people also ask, "Is Brian Dabble good?"
That depends what you think by good. No, all right.
Slightly below average, which is kind of solid comparatively speaking.
Right now, gentlemen, in fights, in boxing, stamina is very important. And I've seen Fat Mike at the podium absolutely out of breath after 3 sentences. But that doesn't mean that Brian Dabble is excused from that. These men are not the pillars of what it means to go the distance. This is going to be a quick fight. It's nothing but haymakers. So at the start, after they touch gloves, the bell's rung. Michael Buffer has done the announcements. Yes, we got Michael Buffer money to make the announcements in this fight.
Are you ready to? Can't say it.
Head coach
I
Fight
don't wanna pay him,
Club!
no. I don't want to pay him any money.
Right? Are you ready to head coach Fight Club? Listen.
Are you ready to
We got-
NASCAR?
Oh my God. Falling off the wheels. Anyway, so Fat Mike, he goes for a couple of, couple of jabs, couple of uppercuts, and then he's going for the midsection, right? He's trying to work the body. Unfortunately, that's a mistake against a big, rotund man like Dabble himself, because just like Fat Mike, that gut is made of iron, all right? It is taking blows. It is taking all the hits that Fat Mike has. Fat Mike is running through the gas, but Dabble, he doesn't have much in the tank himself. He's going for a haymaker, but Fat Mike has, Dabble doesn't, and it's length, baby. Go ahead and put on the image if you want. It's length. He's able to keep a distance away from Dabble. All right, keeps the distance away from Dabble. He goes to the ring. Ding ding ding. You hear the bell. They go to the corner. You have people in their corner right there. You have Micah screaming at Fat Mike, "Get the job done. Don't embarrass me, coach." And on the other side, who do you have? You have Eli Manning's dumb face. He didn't even play with Dabble, but he's just there. All right, just.
He's in like every commercial, so it kind of feels like it's possible.
That's right. He's like, just hit him. And that's all the advice Dabble gets. Ding, ding, ding. Round 2 starts. Dabble says, fuck it. I'm going for the haymaker. Winds up that bad boy over the top. Fat Mike blocks. Bah! Right in the kisser. Bah! Right in the kisser. 2 hits right there.
Ooh, domestic violence reference.
Let me remind you the kisser.
Which chin is Dabble getting hit on? The one on the left or the one on the right?
One up and down.
I don't think there's a chin in either picture.
Either way, he's taking the shots to the head. He falls down. You start hearing the ref going, 1, 2.
Shots to the head?
That's a stretch.
That was a little bit of a reach.
They said that's how he.
If he had said face, I would have given you that one, but he said head.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's where
he didn't say back of the head.
Well, gentlemen, this is what's going to happen next. Brian Dabble manages to get up at the count of 7. Ref checks him. He's good to go, but he's still a little wobbly. Fat Mike comes in, and he leans in. And as he's leaning in, so is Brian Dabble. Brian Dabble kind of loses himself. Fat Mike takes this opportunity for a well-timed uppercut.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Knocks the shit out of Brian Dabble, and he is the winner of the NFC East. It is Fat Mike revenge season, baby.
Okay.
All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to assume that one of you is going to...
this one. I'll take this next, so we'll let Bethke...
All right.
We'll let Bethke have some fun with his coach, just in case. Could be the last time. Might not be the last time. We'll find out.
Why?
I said to have fun with his coach.
I don't think you guys have read enough of the Diddy stuff because you're making a lot of this is.
All right, no Diddy.
We're gonna have to have a Diddy ban. You're gonna lose when your rewinds if you overuse Diddy.
You guys are quoting Diddy here.
All right, so what we got here is a straight up boxing match. You know, these guys are in their trunks that go almost to their belly button. Actually, they're probably up past their belly button for these guys. They're in their striped gloves. I'm seeing real old timey stuff here. But really, what I believe is the key to this whole fight is who is in whose corner. I don't think Micah's wasting his time in McCarthy's corner. So I think, unfortunately, you got Jerry in that corner.
Yikes!
But in Brian Dabble's corner, you have 2 former bosses. You've got Bill Belichick and Nick Saban.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about Rooney Mara?
Said former bosses.
Yeah.
I think that she's the current boss technically, kind of.
I don't think that's how the lineage works. I don't think the hierarchy is Rooney at the top, the girl with the dragon tattoo just sitting over there. Anyways, so we're fighting, and McCarthy's got the reach, so he's getting in some good ones. But every once in a while, you see Dabble just get a couple of good hits in, and they don't look that good, but it looks on McCarthy's face like it's good. And they finish round 1, and McCarthy probably gets that one if it's a judge's decision after round 1. He's landed more shots. He's kind of owned the spacing. What do you call it? The ground. What do you call it? Oh my god.
Just
field position. He's owned the ring positioning, the field position, and the whole thing. But McCarthy still doesn't look right as they come out for round 2. And it starts out looking pretty similar. McCarthy's able to land a couple just because of that reach. But it doesn't take much, a couple jabs and a couple of inside hits, and McCarthy just drops. And this thing's over. And what we'll find out years later is that Belichick lined those gloves with lead beads.
Nice. Millie B gets back in the game.
And Saban told him the exact genius spots of where to hit to cause the most pain, because he is a genius. He knows the body. You don't win 45 college titles in a row without, I don't remember what the number was, without knowing a thing or two. It's probably 45. Yeah. And I've got Brian Dabble cheating but still winning over Mike McCarthy.
Can I take a guess that Jerry Jones was just drunk off that Johnny Walker Blue with his pants down at ringside?
Jerry Jones was an interview. He was doing the live commentary with the.
He kept showing him his notepad. He kept showing him his notepad, but it was just a bunch of scribbles.
He was scoring the fight.
McCarthy asked for him to close the curtains, but he just wouldn't do it. All right. Yeah. So I've got Dabble winning, which means we've got a split, which means the NFC East winner comes down to one man.
All right. So you would expect me to take this Texas Rangers hat off and put on the Dallas Cowboys hat, But you would have also expected me to do that for the NBA segment, and I forgot. So you never know what you're going to get out of this guy. Okay? Look at that. Look at that. How could you? That's an impenetrable fortress right there. All right. So look, this is a heavyweight bout. We've been over it. I look at it like a similar to two older 70s like children's games, right? Rock'em Sock'em Robots meets Battleship. Okay. You're talking about guys who have no real motion. They have just this and this. And we're talking about hit points on a body that could range from anywhere from completely harmless to dangerously explosive, because you never know what pocket of gas is traveling around the gastrointestinal systems of these two gentlemen. So
I assumed it was one giant pocket of gas.
It could be many. Could be many. We do not know. There's no real way to understand. So after multiple rounds.
God damn it.
Mike McCarthy, the great strategic mastermind that he is, has the final hit on the board. It's locked in. He goes to send it in. Miscommunication with the headsets. It's going to go ahead and it's going to miss on the side. They call in the wrong number. All of a sudden, there is no more room. There's only one move left. Dayball hits him in the spot, sinks his battleship, and goes on to be the winner of the NFC East. The new king.
And there you have it, y'all. That was certainly...
The king stays.
Certainly a wild...
Want to see Caesar?
Please. I want to be able to see.
You are Brian Dayball.
That was a wild, explosive conclusion to the first round of the NFC.
All three of my fights ended in an explosion. I'm excited.
The NFC East ends with Brian Dabble advancing to the winner's bracket of Head Coach Fight Club. Mike McCarthy still has an opportunity to redeem himself in the loser's bracket. So, gentlemen, I'm sure you're waiting with anticipation. What division are we going to next week? Last year, we just went direction. East, west, north, south. This year, gentlemen, we're just going across the conference, baby. We're going AFC, and we're going AFC North.
Ooh.
Fun.
Whoa.
My guy.
Next week. AFC North, baby. What type of fights will they be in? Who knows?
The wheel will decide.
The wheel will decide, and we will never break the wheel's trust again. That said, we will also talk about, I believe next week is like the draft. Oh, the draft? No, not next week's not draft.
No,
We'll talk about the
last
draft
week
in
of
2
April.
weeks. So next week, football segment, just fights. Just fights, baby.
Yeah, I agree.
That's all
and we have to give some teas and some preps. So you just get ready and you keep doing you. You're doing perfect.
Perfect. All right. Gentlemen, that's all I got for the football segment. I'm going to go ahead and plug Wrestling Royale one more time because if you like these hypothetical combats, well, there's a lot more of that in the wacky world of professional wrestling. We're going to talk
Watch the
about.
wrestling. Hey, and then next week we have this guy. All right, get a preview. Next week's
Omar Epps.
next week's Head Coaching Fight Club.
Omar Epps, the Pittsburgh Steelers
Dr. Foreman, the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach.
coach, will be taking on.
Potentially, he won't ever go down as the winningest coach, but I might say maybe the most successful head coach I've ever seen. Never had a losing season. That's something. With some pretty
Yes, sir.
terrible teams the last couple of years.
And you know what? He went pretty far in last year's head coach fight club
Should've won.
bracket as well. So we'll see how he does next week